Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by to check out our latest video. We'd like to thank all of you also for your comments and thumbs up in our last video. We really appreciate hearing from all of you. And in this video we're going to be discussing how we get online and access the internet while we're cruising.
So back in 2009, when we were anchored in Friday Harbor, San Juan Islands, every time we want to go get internet to check our email and so on, we always walked about a mile each way to a library where they had free internet. So one day there was a neighbor with a nice powerboat anchored next to us, and we start talking, and I told him how we go and get our internet from a library, and he told us, "Oh, you don't know nothing about Bad Boy?" We look at him, look at each other, say, "Bad Boy, what are you talking about?" He said, "Oh, you know,
Come over to
Come
my
over.
boat and see."
come, you can see my Bad Boy." So he just kind of laughed. So anyway, we went to his boat, and he showed us the way he get on the internet. It is a special long-range antenna, which they are probably a different company who makes it, but this one is made in Canada by.
BitStorm. It's called a high-powered Wi-Fi antenna.
Anyway, it cost us then about $280. Right now, 7-8 years later, I think they're selling for like $380. But anyway, you install the thing up on the top of your mast,
The antenna.
and you pick up all the Wi-Fi's about 4 or 5 miles radius.
It says it's a 10-mile. It'll reach a 10-mile radius, but I think it's more
Yeah.
accurate about 4 or 5 miles.
So it really depends on the obstacles, like say houses or trees and so forth.
What it does is it actually just shows all the different Wi-Fi signals, the ones that are locked and the ones that are open, and then you have a choice of picking the open one, hopefully, to get online.
So we were very impressed when he actually showed us on his computer how he picked up a free internet. So naturally, we right away said, "Oh, that's really nice thing to have."
Right.
So we ordered one, and since then, pretty much that's what we're always using. When we left San Diego 3 years ago for South Pacific, we found that a Bad Boy antenna came very, very handy. When we got to Marquesas, we found out that there was actually two ways to get on the internet. Any major harbor where cruisers are gathered, they had internet providers, which
Yeah, like 2, I think, in the South
yes.
Pacific, yeah.
yeah, then they charge roughly $30 for like 5 hours internet. There was a reasonably fast, not very fast, but fast enough to use for whatever.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was
Yeah.
better than nothing, and you could access your email and whatnot, weather.
Have to.
The best part is that you can get online from the boat, you know. You
Yes.
don't have to go to shore.
Now, even if you had just had a regular computer with an antenna, without a special antenna, you could get online, but you would have to be a ride downtown of
Right, you have to go to
the
shore.
harbor,
Yeah.
so you can access. But with a high power antenna, you could be anchoring pretty much in any place in the harbor and get access. Also, another way to access internet was you could go into some of the small, like juice or coffee shops, and they would have their own internet, and they would give you a password. And this way, when you got on your boat, you could use the internet all day long because you had the password. That way, we were getting internet throughout all French Polynesia in any larger island, like in Tahiti or Bora Bora, Raiatea, and so on. Naturally, places like Tuamotus, the service was not available, so you were without access to internet.
But pretty much throughout the whole South Pacific, we had to pay for internet while we were cruising there.
Then when we got to Hawaii, that Bad Boy worked pretty well, especially in the bigger places like Lahaina or
Hilo
Oahu.
it worked, I
Hilo,
think,
yes. And so we save a lot of money, not have to pay $80 or $100 a month for internet. And what we've done is we had opposite of the smartphone. I guess you would call it dumb phone. So we just got a regular flip phone, which we got it for 10 cents a minute calls. This way we had an emergency phone available, which we use very, very seldom. And internet we always got on to our bad boy antenna.
Right.
Now, the reason for that part is that as a cruisers, a lot of times you're in places where you don't have any phone signal. So we really had a phone just for emergency and also be able to keep our phone number, because otherwise would be no point to make a contract and make $100 payment every month and not be able using phone while in some remote area or while you're in the ocean. So it worked out really good for us. Then when we got to the San Juan Islands, Pacific Northwest, also we found out most places we were able to pick up free internet just by trying different locations. So a lot of times what we've done is when we came into Anchorage, we would have our computer on, searching for a signal, and we would just kind of drive our boat to the Anchorage.
Wherever the signal was best,
And
for
we
that
found
open signal, we would anchor.
Yeah, that's how we would anchor. So it worked out pretty good.
It did.
And not only in the U.S. but also in Canada. Actually, we found out by far the most places they had some kind of a free internet provider.
Right, they do.
So if you are coming from U.S. and you have a U.S. phone with internet availability, still won't do you much good, because usually the plan would not apply in Canada, or it might be very expensive if you want to also use that while you're in Canada. And also another thing is not always you can find a place where they would have a signal for your type of
Plan, your cell phone
cell.
provider, your cell phone
For
provider.
example, some place might be Verizon, some place might be AT&T and so forth.
Right.
Well, that special antenna, you pick up open signal. Now, we've been using that for last 7-8 years, and I can say little banking we do on a line. We never had any problem whatsoever about getting hacked into our bank account or so forth. So
Not that we have too much money to worry about, but
no, but still we never had any kind of problems.
we haven't had our identity stolen yet either.
Yeah.
or
So
anything.
maybe nobody wants to be us. So, but that was pretty very true. And also we found out when we sailed down the coast from Canada down to Southern California, we picked up internet a lot of times as far as 10 miles offshore. So we were surprised how that bad boy works. Now,
And one more thing, we also, a lot of hotels have like an open public access to their internet too, so we got online a lot of times in the bigger cities through the hotels.
So I would not say that it's 100%,
Right.
but I would say roughly 70% times we can get on the internet without much of a problem. Now, like Susan just mentioned, for example, in Eureka, we anchor in front of Adorn Center, which is
It's like a community center.
community center
Yeah.
that a very good signal,
Open Wi-Fi, yeah.
24 hours a day. In San Francisco, when we anchor in what's the name of that bay?
Richardson
Richardson Bay, and we picked up a couple of signals from the hotels,
Right.
which they had open for
Right.
the public.
In Crescent City, the whole harbor had a
in a
Wi-Fi signal for everybody, public.
Yeah, in Crescent City was very interesting that they had about 5 open signals for a port and about 5-6 open signals from mobile home parks or motorhome parks. So there was more than sufficient.
And Canada had a lot of
In Canada,
Wi-Fi available.
Yeah, as you go and you try, you learn things like, for example, in Nanaimo, Canada, every time cruise ship came in, they had an open internet. Lady Smith, you had an open internet, which they gave you 10 gigabytes for 24 hours. So I think that's more than you ever will need it.
Right.
So we had a lot of times internet without any problem, and actually we even picked up internet in the remote places as long as there were some houses or cabins where people have their own internet, and we were able to latch on it.
They were willing to share. That
Yes.
was nice.
So anyway, that thing, it's a one-time investment, and then you don't have to pay any monthly fees. It's reasonable good. Sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's faster, but it works. To us, it's very acceptable because, like I say, paying $100 a month It's $1,200 a year, and for $1,200 a year, I can fly a round trip to Europe and back for vacation. So it's just another way how you can save money and live life very inexpensive.
They also had one other thing you could add on to your Bad Boy. It was called Bad Boy Unleashed, and that's actually better than what we have because we're tied to a cord. But the Bad Boy Unleashed, you can get online with all your Wi-Fi devices on the boat, so it puts out a Wi-Fi signal. It's a little bit better than what we've got. Some cities have a lot of free Wi-Fi signals. For example, Crescent City, where we are right now, it's nothing but free Wi-Fi signals. Pretty nice. Well, there's some locked ones, but most of them, there's lots of free ones too. Open. We look for the strongest Wi-Fi signal that's open, and we click on that, and once it picks up the IP address, then you're online and you're ready to browse the internet. So that's it for now, guys. That's pretty much how we get online while we're cruising. I hope it was helpful to you, and thanks for stopping by. See you next time.
Bye-bye.